So it is Labor Day. Taking Samara out for a ride to try and kill off the remaining amount of mileage I have left for my break-in. So Samara is a 2017 or 2018 Triumph Street Triple RS. You know, the new bike that Triumph came out with for the Street Triple. This year, that was a little bumpy, that was a little ugly. So I've had this bike for just over a month. Still getting a little used to it in a few places, namely the clutch. Really, where its engagement and friction zone is pretty far out as you're releasing the lever, or it has a very short take-up if you're looking at it from the depressing side, where you're pulling in the lever. Overall, this bike is great. It is a brilliant bike. Where yes, you could make the comments that it is more oriented for extremely high performance and or the track, and that maybe spending the extra money over the stock baseline model is overkill. I would agree to a point. If you have no intention of utilizing any of the features like the Quickshifter, the improved suspension and braking, yes, it is overkill. But if you could take advantage of those items, then it is worth spending the money. I definitely will always almost say that spending the money on improved brakes is a good thing, especially if you are commuting or aggressively riding, just even pretty much riding on the street. Because you never know when you may need to take advantage of the improved braking capabilities that you have at your disposal. Same with the suspension, although obviously suspension is one of those set it and forget it type of things. As you're working on dialing in your bike, it will allow you to get that ride that you want. I say this as I weigh 250, 270-ish pound range, and you do never know when you could use that extra braking for the extra stopping power. And suspension also. So the bike is heavily sprung, and by that I mean it is stiff. It is a stiff bike. The suspension is stiff. Especially on the rear shock. This rear shock is incredibly stiff. One of the things I did need to do after picking up the bike was increasing the preload on the front. I found that the front was too divey and that it was too soft, and my front would compress quite a bit while I was coming in and braking. Yeah. So that's just me. For my preference, I needed to increase the preload in the front. I may need to do more, which I will do when I take the bike in for my 500-mile service to check the sag, make sure everything is dialed in correctly. In terms of some of the features, like the display and things like the track mode, the electronics suite is great. It is an amazing dash, very customizable. I wish it was a little bit more customizable, because I would like to know what my fuel consumption is, my spontaneous or instantaneous fuel economy, average fuel economy, like that, because I will note that the idiot light comes on at about a quarter tank of gas left. With having like a 4-gallon and change tank adds to that right. So it comes on when I've got a gallon left. Well, accurate, I find it giving me gas paranoia or mileage paranoia to find a gas station. So to me, it basically turns the bike into a 100-mile range bike. Because I do not plan my rides to do 100 miles or more. Because I'm concerned about my gas. Seating position and overall feel like it is very sport bike-ish, in that it is not as upright of a bike in position as you would expect for a standard bike or naked bike. You do have a forward lean, and to that I find myself putting more weight than I would like on my wrist when I lean forward. Something that I need to get better at. So I instead take on a more upright position or don't lean forward as much. This also, really only one big thing I think I have left that I want to do is to do an exhaust, still run the stock exhaust. But I do want, kind of in the limbo land of determining which ones I want to get. I have been thinking about the Ishimura's Alpha T slip-ons or whatever, or the SE Projects SCR ones. But the one problem I have with it is that according to the Triumph dealer, they will not honor the warranty on the engine if I do it myself. So I'm planning on ordering the exhaust and have it put on, it refreshed with the Aero map or whatever, when they do my 500-mile service. So the 500-mile service will be either the end of this week or next weekend. I do need to order the exhaust though, coming up pretty soon. So that'll be about 1,000 right there between the getting the exhaust, getting the 500-mile service, and probably a bit extra for doing the install and then the extra work for the lights. Yeah. One of the comments I would make against reviewers that have reviewed this bike and its correctness and throttle response, I don't find completely true in regards to being a little choppy on and off. Maybe that's just more of the other modes, but I primarily ride this in sport and street, not so much track. That's kind of because I want to maintain the combination of the traction control and ABS settings, and the whole it reverting thing whenever I turn the bike on kind of annoys me, so I just leave it in something where it will still give me good performance. Obviously, yes, I could use a rider mode that does not feature track ABS or traction control, but to me it's just a little annoying, and I'm not doing it because of that. Oh, one of the other things I did do also is upgrade the horn to a somebody, I don't remember the name, it's a Fiam or something, Harley Blaster one, I don't remember which one, I think it's a high note one, because the stock one was just wimpy. The new one is much longer, has a little more assertiveness to it. I think one of the only complaints I've ever had with the bike is that the handlebars and the mirrors are a little buzzy. It gets worse around 6,000 to 8,000 RPMs, and it buzzes. So I have found my things get a little numb or sleepy when controlling rides are riding in that rev range for longer than I'd like. So like right now I'm at 6, I do definitely feel buzz, but it's not terribly bad. The mirrors are a little buzzy. You can still see what's going on, but it's not clear. So I would definitely like bind weights to help get rid of that. As there are built-in bind wrappers in the handlebar, so there's no way to get like a bind snake or something, or like thread, put extra like red shot or something inside. So it's a little complicated to want to add bind weights because I haven't really found something that looks like it will be 100% compatible with the binds, mirrors, and I also do want to put like a throttle off of some sort. And I'm just not sure what will work. So I'm kind of holding off on a lot of those things. I just wish these guys would go a little faster and I could actually do a little more. Anyway, Ergonomics is just my body position to sit off to the side and get butt cheek off. Class B sucks. The Quickshifter. It is great. It's a lot of fun, very enjoyable to use, but I have found that I have gotten locked out making the shift, and in the situations which it will happen is if you're not giving it gas. So if you're off the throttle, as in throttle is closed, you will not be able to quick shift. Also, if you are not really increasing your revs, if you're holding a steady throttle, you may get an ugly shift where it's very jerky, and depending on things, you may see your traction control like foot kick in, and it's just jerky. But if you're increasing your revs and obviously accelerating, what you will find is a very smooth shift. The slipper switch is also great when downshifting. Like, in comparison on the Harley, I've never found to be able to get like my rear wheel to lock up or kind of give you a little pop skip in traction. One thing about getting a bike going from a stop is it does like having some gas. I found that you just try to let the clutch out, kind of ease in slowly. You may stall the bike. I've done it quite a bit, and I'm still hesitant now at times. So, like, getting up to about 3,000 RPM, just kind of rolling back as you let out the clutch works really well, is what I found. Or just kind of playing out the clutch a little bit as you're giving it gas and listening to it, see what it wants, is a good way to do that. Preventative stall. So right there, I just quick shifted, but it was a little jerky, not like super jerky, but still giving a really good gas. It's not really great for like a cruising shift like this, where you're just cruising around. Especially like first into second and second into third. But what you can do is can be a little ugly and jerky. But I haven't found it like when going third or fourth or something, it's as jerky. In terms of riding the bike around and where you're riding it, roads like this are great. Obviously, it's good as well as like in city, because it's not too large of a bike or anything. The one place I don't think it's really great at is on the highway. And when I say it's not great, I think it's really just more me and maybe the way I have the bike set up, in terms of suspension, and my body positioning. What I mean by that is the ride to me, I feel like the front end is a little light. I don't really notice a lot of like wind blast as being detrimental and being buffeted by wind, even at 70 to 80, but my definitely preferred, like, more comfortable speed on the highway interstate is around 70. I think at 80 is when it starts to start showing where it's not the greatest bike in terms of, at least maybe for the setup. It probably needs some work in regards to tuning overall the suspension in myself and my body positioning. Is at 80, it just seems too, the front end just feels light. It feels not like I'm power wheeling or the front has become, I guess the closest way to describe it is the front just doesn't seem like it has the amount of weight transferred to it as much as I would like or I would expect it to have. I just kind of expected to have more front end weight. lightness in the bike definitely does show, and I mean the lightness overall, where it is just around 400 pounds. It definitely does not feel as pointed as, say, my Harley, which weighs in at like 700. But then again, I mean, yes, I do realize they are two completely different bikes in terms of profiles and performance and handling. So it's just a completely different experience, really. I mean, it's not like it feels incompetent or less competent. It's just, I really don't feel confidence, I guess, in myself at this point over, 80 or so. I just don't enjoy it. It's not as enjoyable to me as my Harley at 80. So like right now doing 70, I'm not really feeling like I'm being buffeted a lot. I'm not feeling a lot of wind blast. I mean, yes, I do feel a little bit of air resistance, I guess, in my head and my helmet, but it's not like it's being buffeted. I can't really comment on the seat. I want to say I would like a more comfortable seat, like the Libera I have on my Harley, but I don't really know how or what changes I would make to the seat in terms of getting an aftermarket seat. What would I be looking for? I mean, the shape and the contour of it is perfect. I think, if anything, I would look at maybe consider things like where certain types of foam are located, but even to make that kind of statement, it's really hard to say that, because I find that in terms of where I sit on the seat, it is towards the front of the seat, so I'm not going to say my nuts are scrunched up against the tank, but they are sitting forward. But it's not uncomfortable. Being 5'10", having wearing jeans that are like normally a 30-inch inseam, it's probably really closer to 28, but I wear pants a little on the lower side, not like sagged around my ass a little, but my belt is not across my belly button. So I wear it in like a natural position-ish, not really. And I do like a little bit of bagginess in my jeans. So, I mean, it's I can easily flat foot the bike in both feet, especially if I'm putting just a little bit of downward weight on the seat versus trying to stand up and flat foot it is a little more awkward. But as long as with some of that weight, it's maybe not completely my heels are flat-footed, but it's really hard to tell, especially like if you're on the road and say like you're in like this spot here, because from like all the tire wear, you're gonna have some height brought up on both sides, so it does make it easy. One thing in terms of controls I'm not a huge fan of on this bike is the left side control cluster. it's kind of a nitpick. It's really hard to engage things like the turn signal. I actually need to break my grip. So I need to kind of shift it like that. I can't leave it, because the only thing I can really hit is the horn. So even like trying to manipulate the modes and the display selector requires breaking my grip from the bar. So it's not like exact, but I mean, I think it's kind of hard to set the controls to be 100% accessible for all of these selectors without breaking the grip. So I mean, it's not like my Harley is easy to manipulate the controls without making those changes. I also do like how these grips a little bit more because it is a better product. Yeah, I checked it with the Harley yesterday after not riding it for about 2 months. And that was a pretty big surprise in how things felt. The Harley was freaking loud as shit, I will say though. So, yeah, I guess I could apologize to, people I rub on. And I thought I could do a lot of red bonding to people, but any other disturbances and setting off car alarms and things like that. I did not realize how loud my really was. I was riding without like a helmet and earplugs or anything. Like right now, I'm only riding with my helmet right now. Well, helmet, gloves, jacket, shoes, and boots, shoes. So it's just, I think that this bike will sound pretty loud, because I've heard it as I played with things like my mic and the positioning. The exhaust of the sound will come out really clearly, but I'm just going to have so many issues with trying to get good audio.